Episode 7 of The Penguin shows the aftermath of Sophia's visit to Oz's hideout. We also get a flashback to Oz's childhood, showing how he grew up and his interactions with a number of pivotal people in his life. A loose end comes back to haunt Sophia as she comes to terms with her new place in the pecking order. And Vic, well, you won't believe what Vic gets up to. So let's get stuck into the juicy spoilers. They're sure to be breathtaking. The penultimate episode of The Penguin, episode 7, opens with a flashback to a young Oswald hanging out with his mother while she does the accounting for Rex. It's weird to me to see a flashback to the Penguin's childhood as being the 1980s. I always thought it would be the 1920s, but I guess that's just what happens with a modern interpretation. Oz likes being with his mother, but resents the attention she gives to his brothers. Rex Calabrese is a lot younger than I thought he'd be. I assumed he was in his 40s, but he looks 25. Oz's brother Jackie tries to keep the other boys away from Rex, but Oz can't help himself and has to be the one to address Rex, as is consistent with his need for recognition. Rex pays Jackie 50 big ones, which would be a king's ransom to a kid back then, but instead of wasting it on video games, he wants to give it to Ma because she doesn't get anywhere near enough from Rex. It starts raining, so the boys go play flashlight tag in the abandoned subway, the very same one that Oz has his shrooms business in. Jack and Benny break the rules and leave the designated play area and go somewhere that they know Oz with his bung leg has difficulty getting to. So he cracks the sads and closes the door, locking them in the stormwater overflow tunnels. We used to have stormwater drains that were big enough at the outflow to walk up, and we always heard stories of people being in them, then a freak thunderstorm washing them out and brutalizing them by smashing them against the walls. I was never sure if it was true, but it was enough to make me never want to go in them. Oz waddles home and lies to Ma and says that the other boys went to the movies, but he wanted to spend time with Ma. Aw, he's a mama's boy. It's no wonder the amount of praise she heaps on him. With the rain teeming down, Ma starts wondering if she should go pick up the boys from the movies, so Oz makes her a whiskey and soda so she can't drive. They're watching some tap dancing movie, I guess because Oswald wishes he could dance like Fred Astaire. These clips are from the movie Top Hat, in case you're wondering. As the scene progresses, the water level flowing out of the hatch gets closer and closer to the top until there's silence. Title screen cuts us back to current day and Oz comes back to the apartment to find Vic unconscious and Ma gone. Oz sends Vic to get the gangs to help out while he turns himself into Sal, who just happens to arrive at the right moment. Sal beats him with the golf club until his hired goons remind him that Sophia had a deal with him. Penguin shoots him a line about Sophia having him on a short leash. Sal has Oz take him to see his newly acquired mushroom operation, but Oz wants to speak to his mother before he'll go. Well, Sal remembers what happened last time he made a deal with Oz, so that ain't happening. Sophia is being suspiciously nice to Ma Cobb, but Frances don't take no guff. She's acting like she doesn't care. She's hanging it on Sophia for a terrible taste in home decor and boasting that Oz will kill Sal and then come for her, killing Sophia in the process. So now Sophia knows why Oz is so messed up. He was bullied into it by his mother. Damn, Frances switches from talking mad trash to crying about her son's whereabouts and back to psycho at the drop of a hat, or at the slap of a face. Wonderful acting here from Deirdre O'Connell. Such a fantastic display of range. A brilliant scene with two dominant women going head to head. I can never remember this guy's name, the creepy doctor. I always want to call him Dr. Crane, but that's Scarecrow. This guy is Dr. Rush. He tells Sophia that her little cousin Gia seems to be remembering things from the night of the gassing and wants to talk to the police. I would have thought that Sophia would have taken her in as the next of kin and looked after her, but it seems that she's abandoned her. After she told her that bad things happened to women in this family too. Sal takes Oz to the subway and they have a mostly peaceful handover, with only two of Oz's men getting shot. But the electrician from 2 episodes back is still there, and while Oz recalls the smell of Sal's wife's burning hair, he pulls the plug on the power and it's lights out. Just enough time for Oz to escape to one of the subway trolleys and go one-on-one with Sal Maroni. Well, it's the strangest thing. Mid-fight, Cell just up and dies from a heart attack. Ozzy can't believe his luck. He's back, baby. I love how Oz can't just accept good luck. He has to make sure Cell knows he won. And also pumps him full of lead so people will think that he was beaten fair and square. I had a little chuckle at Penguin's WTF moment. He even takes the pinky ring back he got off Alberto. Sophia visits Gia and is reminded of her time in Arkham, which makes it even more surprising that she doesn't offer Gia a place to live. Maybe she thinks it's too dangerous, but the kid's a loose end and you're going to have to deal with her one way or another. Gia remembers seeing a gas mask in Sophia's bag, which is real clumsy because she could have left that by the back door or something. It didn't have to go with her at all times. Sophia gets a call just as she leaves Gia's cell, which is very good timing. It's Oz using Cell's phone. He wants her to have the whole operation back. All she has to do is bring his ma back and she can come and take it. I'm sure it's an ambush as he just gave a speech to his men describing the coming storm. Hey, where did Vic get to? Sophia wants it all to be over, but she also wants Oz to feel the same pain she did. Oz has set up an ambush and the car Sophia has sent is now locked inside the tunnels. The driver gets out and runs, but where will he go? The tunnels are locked. Hands up who thought it was going to be Ma's body in the back. But no, it's just a bomb. Just a bomb? Oz makes a break for it and falls down the same overflow pipe that his brothers died in. Sophia has his ma at the old Munro's Cabaret Club, the same one he said his ma took him to when she'd broken out of her mourning phase. Flashback to that very event and his mum really lays it on thick here, telling a child Oswald that he has to provide for her or she's not going to make it. Geez, that's a heavy burden for a kid. No wonder he's such a sociopath. Oz wakes up in the bottom of the overflow pipe and his ears are ringing, but he seems okay. I'm not sure I'd trust that broken rung on the ladder, but what else is he going to do? Walking down the street reminds me of scenes from 9/11 with all that dust. Detective Wise from episode 2 tells Oz that Sophia wants to see him and knocks him out with a collapsible baton. Lucky he just happened to be there. And that's all for episode 7 of The Penguin. I'm back to being a little disappointed with episode 7. They've got probably the shortest episode yet as the penultimate episode. There's a lot of odd decisions and coincidences, and we spend half the episode on a flashback that we really didn't learn anything beyond the fact that Penguin killed his brothers, for some time alone with Ma. Appropriately enough, I'm down to a 7 out of 10 for the 7th episode of The Penguin. Talk about a coincidence. The coincidences in this episode are bothersome, but I see that they're there to keep up the pace of the show. They'd need to pad it with filler otherwise, so I suppose it's the lesser of the two evils. About the only big development in this episode was the death of Salvatore Maroni, and it wasn't even all that satisfying. Sophia still has Ma. I'm claiming that happened last episode. I guess you could say that Oz lost his shrooms, then got them back, then lost them again. I assume they're buried in the rubble, if not vaporized by the fireball of the bomb. Who knows, maybe the final episode will end with the mushroom growing out of the crack in the sewer somewhere. I suppose that means he's lost his main bargaining chip. I'm expecting Vic to show up out of nowhere and save Oz, because he was absent basically this entire episode. Sophia's got to fix this issue with her cousin Gia. If she kills a kid, she's beyond redemption. The back and forth between Sophia and Francis was probably the highlight of the episode for me. Great acting, especially from Deirdre O'Connell as Francis Cobb. It just seems a shame that we wasted half the episode on what could have been Oz talking to Vic about why he does everything for his mum. Oz is still the only one who knows what happened to his brothers. Anyway, I'm hoping we get a decent 90-minute send-off next week. We got to see who wins control of the Gotham drug trade. Now that Oz has no Bliss, he's not the man to deal with, so I think he's going to have to rely on brute force. I wonder if we'll get our first mention of Batman. I've heard Colin Farrell doesn't want to return as he's sick of the makeup, so hopefully everything is nicely wrapped up and we go out with a bang. Thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, please consider subscribing. I release reviews occasionally when time allows, and a thumbs up would be a big motivator for further reviews. If you didn't like it, feel free to leave a thumbs down and let me know how I can improve in the comments below. Anyway, I'm Mixie, thanks for your time, and have a good one.